Thank you to Crowd Cow for sponsoring this week's video. Crowd Cow is a marketplace for high-quality meats that creates a meaningful connection between the farmer and the customer so people can know and appreciate exactly where their food comes from. Crowd Cow has an unbeatable selection of high-quality beef, chicken, pork, seafood, and more. You will have access to grass-fed, pasture-raised, or wild-caught meats that have no growth hormones or unnecessary antibiotics. You can enjoy great-tasting meats while supporting farmers that are doing it the right way. Each cut is vacuum sealed, frozen at the peak of freshness, and shipped directly to your door. Your happiness is guaranteed when you become a member for free. You will also enjoy perks like 5% off and free shipping over $99. Click our link, crowdcow.com/redpoppyranch in the description box below to get $15 off your first order. If that's not enough, for a limited time, Crowd Cow is putting free items into your box when you become a member. Click our link to see what's being offered right now.
Can I have a million pieces?
No, you can have one or two.
Or three.
We have two 2,500 gallon water tanks up on the hill. We're only using one of them right now because the second one I disconnected last fall, and I drained it because it was susceptible to freezing. It's not insulated. So all winter long we used the primary tank, and today's as good a day as any to get up there and get those two tanks tied back together, which that would give us 5,000 gallons of water. But if I can get the other big projects done this summer that I have planned, I'm hoping that before snow flies, I can install 2 underground tanks instead of the 2 above ground tanks that I have. Number one, I don't have to see that up on the hill. And number 2, it's never gonna be prone to freezing again. So I'm gonna get up there and make the connection. I think I have all the parts to do it and get that second tank filling up. Every summer when I open this thing up for the first time, I find evidence that a squirrel or something's been living in the tank house. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking the first time I open the door up, so hopefully there's nothing in there that is going to scare me too bad. There is some, I don't know if that's skunk or porcupine, but it's bigger. Whatever that is bigger. And whatever has gotten in here is pulling the insulation out of the walls. So this is just another reason to get the tanks underground and get rid of this shed altogether. I got to go in there and make this connection. Hopefully I don't make any new friends in the process. I have a valve in there that I have to open, and I guess I left it connected because I can't see where I cut anything. So step one is I'm going to close this valve. I'm going to do a quick pressure test to make sure that there's no broken fittings or pipe. Okay, valve is open. Nothing's leaking. Now I'm going to open the drain valve, but I want to pull the lid off and look inside the tank first. A little bit of sediment in here. This could stand to be flushed out a little bit. I'm going to let the water kind of equalize, and I'm going to flush this tank out. So I don't have any leaks, which is good, but I've officially got to do something with this shed now. I can see where something is dug underneath it, and made this into its home. And like I said, I was just tired. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm going to make an effort to get those two 2,500 gallon underground tanks and get those installed sooner than later.
Drive the same roads every day. We both get there our own way. Thistle and an apple tree. How different two souls can be. But we both grow from the same sorrow. If we both know we'll be together tomorrow, I can be like a tree in the wind. Same old roots, but I can bend, turning to understand and sway together. Now it's almost like that rendering of stubbornness, and it just cuts us deeper through the longer I'm away from you. Yeah, we fight good, we make love better if we both know we'll be together forever. I can be like the tree in the wind, same old roots, but I can bend, learning to understand and sway together. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby. Yeah, we fight good, we make love better if we both know we'll be together forever. We can be like the trees in the wind, same old roots, but we can bend, learning to understand and sway together. We can be like the trees in the wind, same old roots, but we can bend, learning to understand and sway together. Till the end.
I'm pretty sure that says Roger.
Because
Can I open this?
Yeah.
you open the card first.
Okay.
Look at that.
What's that?
That's from It's a picture of Field of Dreams.
The movie, that's the house from Field of Dreams. Let's see it again. That's the real house from Field of Dreams. Okay, open the card. Open the card. Open the
There's
card.
something on the back, Callie. It has your name. You have brought countless hours of entertainment watching you all become what you are meant to be. To Reed, the homer you hit the other day was so incredible. To Callie, watching you become a pro on the four-wheeler has been awesome. We hope you enjoy these small gifts. Dawn and Becky.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cute.
Oh my.
Look,
God.
it even says Field of Dreams on it.
And it is
Signed again.
yeah.
To
Reed.
keep
Dreaming.
Oh, that's so cool.
Can I open it?
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't play with that one too much, though. That
Is
one-
it
No, don't play with it
It's
at
brand
all.
new. That one needs to go on a shelf somewhere. We'll get you a little thing to set it on. Isn't that crazy?
Cute.
So they owned the farm where that movie was filmed. Remember the other day we sat down and watched that movie? You guys really liked that movie?
What? You need a homework with this boy.
No, don't.
I know.
Hit a home
So-
with anything.
So Don and Becky owned that farm and they watch our videos. Is that crazy?
This says, believe in the magic, have faith and simplicity, and always dare to dream. Thank you for your support these past 25 years, and join us as we look to the field's future and all that is yet to come.
Is this mine?
That's yours.
Phil,
That's
this
Cal's.
is
What do you say to Don and Becky? What do you say?
Thank you. You're the best. You better also.
Last fall when I did the board and batten, I ran out and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get more. I ended up getting more. I finished the front. I have enough to finish the back. That is the only part of the shop that's left to be done other than this side, but we're not going to do that until we build the new goat and chicken barns. I'm tired of seeing an unfinished project, so I want to get this done today. I was able to pick up more rough sawn 1x12s a couple of months back, and they'd been sitting in the garage waiting for the snow to go away and for things to dry out enough so I could get it done. Already the existing board and batten siding has begun to change color compared to the wood that was sitting inside the shop, not getting exposed to the sun. Hopefully by the end of the summer, when all the projects are finished, Cedar and I can again talk about what stain we will use on the house and the shop to try and bring everything together once and for all. But we need to get the new generator room / goat pen / chicken coop / whatever we're going to call it built before I can do that. Getting the 8 kilowatt Kohler generator moved from where it is now, sitting next to the house, to an enclosed room that's attached to the shop that I can get to regardless of the weather and that will be far enough away from the house where we won't even hear it if it is running, is one of the top 3 things that I look forward to getting done this summer. In the process, I will upgrade from an 8 kilowatt generator to a 15 kilowatt generator, as the 8 kilowatt Kohler generator is just not quite big enough, especially as we continue to upgrade and change our solar system. Once the concrete for the new generator room has been poured and the new side shed barn that will be used for the goats and the chickens is completely finished, I will then run a service from the generator up through the trusses in the shop, then back down through the conduit back to the house where it will tie into our solar system, and then we will be back online with the new generator. Okay, board and batten's done, which means the entire shop, board and batten, is finished except for this side. But again, this is where the new goat and chicken barn is going to be. So I will finish that siding once the side shed barn is done. Something that I'm now considering, once I get the concrete poured for the generator room, which means I'm basically going to extend the concrete foundation about 10 feet down further. Once that's done, I'm thinking seriously about, I don't know if it's going to happen this year or not, but about extending a roof line, just an awning or a porch over the diesel tank. But what that'll also do is give me a place to park the four-wheelers and the side-by-sides and even the snow machines. Because of how narrow our property is down here at the bottom, we're limited with places to park stuff. So I'm real tempted. That will protect the snow from sliding off the roof and getting anywhere near that diesel tank and the window wells, for that matter, which last year when the snow slid, it filled up the window wells. So that's something I got to think about and see how far I get this year to see if I could do that as well. Our first summer up here, shortly after purchasing our land, I could work almost all day and sometimes go a week or two without seeing anybody. But this road that goes right by our house goes to National Forest. It's one of our favorite things about where we live. We are right next door to thousands of acres of public land. Over the last 5 years that we've been building our place, and as we've worked hard to improve the road, we naturally get more and more traffic up here. Oftentimes it's people that may simply be camping close by that might be curious to see where some of the trails lead to, But regardless of who it is, there is progressively more and more traffic up here than there ever has been before. Because many of us use the road to get in and out of town every day, I've got to do everything I can to make sure the road is continuously safe. One of the things that I've been looking forward to doing all winter is trimming back some of the big trees that hang out in the road and obstruct the view to anybody that might be coming up or down the road. While there's part of me that wants to leave the road in the condition that it's in, there's also part of me that knows I need to make it safe. I deliberately stopped cutting this tree down last night because I was too tired and I didn't feel good about it. I need to get this maple tree cut down, bucked up into firewood, chip anything that I can chip, and then I'm gonna move down to a different spot. That's about all I'm gonna do right here. After talking with some of the other landowners and getting permission to do what I'm doing, the plan is to again take at least one day a week and work on the conditions around the road until it's all been cleaned up and or snow flies. This corner right here is a bad corner because the trees hang over into the road. It makes the road even more narrow than it already is, and it was time for these trees to go. Using this wood chipper that I've had for a few years now makes the job so much easier. This particular wood chipper might be one of the best investments that we've made so far. It seems like we use it all summer long.
You spying on the neighbors?
I thought there were some deer up there earlier, but this is a horse wandering around up there. The hillside usually has deer and elk right there. It was raining hard. Obviously your Jeep's covered in mud.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's raining just a little bit in town, but the road's a mess.
The mud just never goes away, does it?
Let's buy a Jeep with 35-inch tires. It'll be fun, they said.
They're technically 34s, but it's all right.
34? We gotta do something about this.
What do you want me to do? Put some street tires on it?
Kind of tempting.
We
They
could
don't
just
look
move.
as
We
good,
could just.
but-
We can move. We can move back to town.
No.
That's the other
No,
option.
that's not an option.
Okay. Our property is shaped similar to a piece of pizza. The further you go up the property, the wider it gets. Down here around the house and the shop, we have a limited amount of free space. Since this is the place where the fuel tank will live, and because it's as close as it is to the shop, I need to make sure that once the fuel tank is filled up, that no matter what might happen, the tank will not tip over. I decided to anchor it to the existing foundation. In a best case scenario, this wouldn't be anywhere near the shop. But again, because we're limited with space, this is where it must go. And it's my job to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. I used a 2-part epoxy, eye bolts, chain, and clevises that was properly rated at the rate that the tank will weigh once it's filled up. And while I don't anticipate this tank moving at all, I'd rather not take any chances. And odds are, at some point in the near future, the tank will end up under a covered porch that I will build against the back of the shop anyway. A couple of weeks back, I showed a video clip of some seagulls flying over our house late at night, one night. I don't know why Cedar and I were outside. I think we heard them, and it was a few hundred seagulls, and it was kind of weird. Everything about it was just odd. I jerked the phone out, got a little bit of footage, and I shared that in our weekly video, but what I didn't share was the very end of that clip. The very end of that clip, I said to my wife, Cedar, I said, you watch, there's gonna be an earthquake. The next morning we woke up to find out that in our county there was a magnitude, I think it was a 4.2, nothing too major, but it was felt by some people. We are not far from Yellowstone. Little earthquakes like that happen all the time. It's thought that maybe at some point in the near future we're gonna have a big earthquake. This tank, once it's completely filled up with fuel, will weigh over 8,000 pounds. Whether it's snow or rain coming off the roof and eroding away at the dirt underneath the railroad ties, or whether it's an earthquake, either way, by putting the chains and the clevises in there and epoxying that eye bolt to the foundation, I'm gonna sleep a little better at night, because now I don't have to worry about whether or not this thing's gonna tip over and leak everywhere. I still think in the near future I may build a cover, an awning, a porch of some kind over this. But in the meantime, I feel much better knowing that I've got chain that's rated at over 4,000 pounds, and I've got 2 clevises that are also rated comparably. And that if somehow we had some crazy earthquake, at least I've done something to keep that tank from tipping over. I don't know if there's gonna be an earthquake, and frankly, I hope and pray there isn't, but I feel good doing this. One of the other things I think I'm gonna do, that somebody suggested to me, I think through an Instagram message, was that I should ground this tank. So I think I'm gonna get either a piece of rebar, or maybe I'll even get a copper grounding rod or a brass grounding rod, put a ground strap on this 1-inch cap on the end here, push that ground rod far enough into the ground. I could probably even do it with a T-post, truthfully, as long as I can get that thing far enough into the ground, and then put a ground strap on that. So if lightning hit the shop, or if lightning hit the ground, or anything around us, and it happens when we do have these summer storms every once in a while. You know, I have a Doug fir up on the hill that's been struck by lightning dozens of times, I'm sure. So if it's hitting up there, it could very easily hit down here. So anyway, putting the chain, putting the clevises, epoxying that into the foundation, I don't have to worry about this tank moving around a whole lot anymore. At a minimum, if it shifted and did lean, it can only go so far. So I'm totally good with how this turned out. I'm only removing trees that are either obstructing the line of sight, down or up the road, or trees that may be hanging out into the road. But the other major factor with this road is the sun. If you have paid attention, it doesn't take much for this road to turn bad. A little bit of rain and it's a muddy mess. But as soon as the rain clouds disappear and the sun comes out, it doesn't take long for the road to dry out. As a matter of fact, it goes from being a muddy mess to being hard as a rock in a very short period of time. So again, by removing some trees that may obstruct sunlight into some of the bad areas in the road is something that we're slowly figuring out, again, the longer we live here. I'm trying to use as much as I can for firewood because, again, we can never have too much. If the maple is big enough, I'm turning it into firewood. If it's too small, I'm running the limbs through the chipper and turning it into mulch that will feed the topsoil. So nothing is totally lost. But if it was up to me, I would love to leave things just as they were the first time I drove up this road. In many parts of the road, it's barely wide enough for one car, let alone two. And when I'm running the snowplow trying to keep the road as wide as I can, it will most definitely help to have some of these trees removed. And if all goes well, I'll get through next winter without breaking out any more windows in the plow truck. Get out of the way. Don't even mess around. When the maple is this green and wet, one of the best things we can do for it to help it dry out as fast as it can is simply split it. But without the hydraulic splitter, it would be almost impossible. Green maple does not split by hand easily. Using the 30-ton log splitter makes light work of even some of the largest pieces of maple that I brought back. By the time we need it this winter, it will be more than dry enough. But looking at our firewood pile now, we have about half of what I hope to have before snow flies. When I bought the crew cab from the previous owner, the dash pad was completely shot, which is a very common issue with the square body Chevys. It appears that he was going to have the old dash pad recovered, but it wasn't worth bothering with for me. I got online, ordered a brand new dash pad for the truck. The only unfortunate part of having a brand new dash pad in this truck is I couldn't find the original blue that came in the truck. So now the dash pad is black, the door panels are blue. We may have to change this at some point down the road. I've been driving the truck around a little bit here and there, and I really, really like the truck. It reminds me of the old days a little bit. And I'm really looking forward to getting the drivetrain swapped out of this truck and get a Cummins diesel swapped into it. This is all left over from when I did all that. It's all dry. It should light up pretty quick. Make sure you got a good level spot for your mom and for Kelly.
Is this good?
Yeah, probably fine. She probably has a nest right here. Listen, you hear her?
I see.
You see her? There she is. There she is. Come on. Listen. That's her.
There it is.
That's crazy, huh? Okay, you take us back to the cabin. Where's the cabin? If you ever got lost up here, what would you do?
Follow my trail.
What if you couldn't find your trail?
Find the animal's trail.
Then where would you go?
Down the animal's trail.
That's it. Just go downhill. If you ever got lost, if you and Callie ever went hiking or something and you ever got lost, all you got to do is go downhill. You go downhill, you'll find a creek, or you'll find a road, or you'll find your house,
Or you'll find a cabin.
or you'll find a cabin.
Would it hurt?
Yeah, it'll hurt you. You think if I finish the inside next week, we'll come up here and stay the night?
Sure. They like hammer it down.
It's called blacksmithing.
Yeah, blacksmith.
You know, I have an anvil out there in the front yard.
Yeah.
Guess you know what an anvil is from Minecraft, huh?
Can I just see what they taste like?
Okay, get the poker. We're just going to cook our food very fast. Hear that? That's how hot it is.
Whoa! Ow! I have to show you something.
What do you got?
You ready?
Yes.
Look at all those feathers. Look.
So you want me to tell you what that is? Let me see those feathers.
You're not.
Okay, so wherever you found that, we need
Up there by the logs.
you might need to wash your hands, but hear the turkey? That's a dead turkey. So a turkey got killed right there. What kills turkeys around here? Mountain lion, bobcat, fox, coyote.
There's foxes up there?
Yeah, I bet if you dig around in the dirt, you might find some bones.
Can I go look?
Yeah, go look. De la Sierra Morena, si alegran, silito lindo. Los corazones.
Yeah, he's not good.
Were the dogs down there by chance?
No. We thought they would be up here.
Or you're prone to. Did you guys already eat? You want to cook some hot dogs?
We had rock.
You want a hot-
Old
have a spot to sit
pirates,
by.
yes, they rabbi. None but ourselves can free our mind. Who have no fear for atomic energy. Are you recording me? None of them can stop at the time. Whoops. How long shall they kill our prophets? While we stand aside and look. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? All I ever have. Redemption songs. These songs of freedom. These songs of freedom. Thank you again to Crowd Cow for sponsoring this week's video. And don't forget to go to the link in our description to learn more about Crowd Cow.
Where'd you go today?
Bad dog, Ruby. Let's see your feet. Your feet are probably tore up. You're a bad dog. Don't run away. Stay here. Stay here.